Scotia maybe clearing away the yellow guard, maybe just run it back, see if they can get even anything with it as well. Just waiting for it to curl a little more. Looks like it's just going to peel it away. And we'll peel away the yellow guard, and we'll leave both yellow stones exposed. With now we're coming up to those skip stones. Skip Newfoundland here. Ryan McNeil Lambswood coming in from Stephenville, Newfoundland. I'd like to give a shout out to his mother, Sherry McNeil, Jamie and Sarah McNeil, and Kyle Barrett, and of course all the youth curlers at in Stephenville. So McNeil Lambswood will not look to guard it. We'll just try and see if he can draw around the red stone. Put Nova Scotia under a lot of pressure. Maybe see if they can force him to one here in the first end. Hard on this one right now. Might have overswept that one a little bit. And this one's going to be carried back. It's going to sit in the back 8 foot. Looks like the sweepers maybe thought that one was light, because it had to curl a little bit more as well. Comes a skip from the Nova Scotia team, Matthew Manuel. They represented the Nova Scotia at the Canada Games this year, coming in from the Mayflower Curling Club. Looking to hit off the Yellowstone, getting towards the middle. A little bit outside right now. And they're hard. Get one. Can't get the second one, unfortunately, and Newfoundland's has a good opportunity to go for a steal as well, even here. McNeil Lambswood with his last shot here in this first end between Nova Scotia and Newfoundland at the under-18 Atlantics here at the Montague Curling Club. Time to draw for a third here. This one looks a little light coming out of his hand. The sweepers are really taking this one hard. Trying to get that one to curl a little bit. Want it to curl a little bit more. And it's going to go a little too deep. It will hit up just the top of the 4 foot. They wanted it just to guard, but they didn't want that one to be the shot stone. And we'll give an opportunity here for Nova Scotia. Maybe just get a nose hit even. Sit one. Try to see, do they prefer a draw here or just a nose hit? They're going to go for the hit here. Nova Scotia going against 3 here in this first end. Last shot here in this first end. Gotta get the nose. Hard on. A little bit. Letting it curl a little bit more. Gotta get towards the center line. This one's gotta curl a little bit more. It looks like it might only get half of it. It's gonna hit. Is it gonna stick around though? And it's going to go over to the left side, and it's going to be a steal of one in this first end here for Newfoundland against Nova Scotia here at the Under-18 Atlantic Curling Championships here at the Montague Curling Club. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on Bellline Community One, your local leader in sports webcasting in Atlantic Canada. That was a great thrown end there for Newfoundland. Let's see how they're going to respond and how Nova Scotia's going to do here after giving up that 1 point. It'll be Matthew English once again, just throwing those lead stones. Matthew coming from Corner Brook, Newfoundland. Was on the under-18 team that came second this year. Trying to send up that central guard. This one's coming in very nicely for English. They realized it was going to go into the ring, so they're going to try and see how far back they can carry it. I'll hang around just biting the 8-foot. Looking over on sheet number 4, the host team of from the Montague Curling Club picked up 2 in the first end against PEI over in the men's action. That's over on sheet number 4. Trying to set the corner guard is Cameron. Wanted to curl a little bit more, but it's going to sit very nicely. It's going to be very useful later. Over on sheet number 2, it looks like Nova Scotia picked up 3 in the first end against Newfoundland, and they lead 3-0. Comes English with his second. Hard to keep the line. So one really died in before the hog line. Super's doing a great job trying to carry it as far as they can. And that's going to sit very nicely for them. Might have to start to see Nova Scotia. Will they start to remove the guards, or they're just going to come around it? And they're going to try and come around those 2 guards. See if there's any frost over on the outside of the ice. They're on this one right out of his hand. It's got to curl a little bit more. This one will go a little bit deep. Will it hang around? And that one will go through. I'm not even sure from our angle if that's even touching the rings. That one carried a little bit too far. And an early mistake there for Nova Scotia. Let's see if Newfoundland can capitalize once again. They capitalize on that in the first end. Can they do it again here in the second? Hard on this one. This is hard line here. Maybe looking for a plan B. Bump back the yellow one a little bit. Now this one's going to overcurl a little bit, so they're just going to let this one die and sit right on top of the 2 guards on the top. Might be the opportunity here for Nova Scotia, maybe to clear up those guards in the front. Taking a look at various options here, but it looks like they will attack those guards up out at front. Gonna look at Abraham to throw heavyweight here. Hard on this one, right out of his hand. See where the rocks end up. Sweep one in through. And we'll come out the other side, so it'll still be the two guards up out front. It looks like Newfoundland's just going to look to replace that guard that was knocked away. Send themselves very nice here for another force of a single. Or a steal if possible. Waiting for a bit of the curl here. This one will set up very nicely. Newfoundland's really on their game here this afternoon. This one just gets a little bit of an overcurl over at the end, but still will obstruct Nova Scotia enough. And Nova Scotia's going to have to clear away the guards once again. Try and see if they can open up that center of the ice. Waiting for that to curl a little bit. A lot of weight. This one will move one. Could possibly be two. And we'll knock around the Yellowstone to the side. It's not very relevant out there, but still will keep around their shooter. So there's still that one central guard. Newfoundland's just going to keep putting up those guards and closing down the middle. They're very happy with this, forcing Nova Scotia to a single here if possible. This one seems a little bit quick. Seems a little quick for a guard. How far back is it going to go? We'll knock the... It looks like it'll hit a piece of the red one. How far will it knock it into the rings? No, we'll just hang around. Up top a little bit too heavy of a guard there. Now gives an opportunity here. Nova Scotia might, maybe if they can angle their red one very nicely, keep the guard up there and remove the Yellowstone in the house. Waiting for their staying close to this one. Now they're on this. Want to get it on a good angle. Gets her, moves it, knocks it back, and will move the Yellowstone. Great shot in there for Nova Scotia, and they're sitting one now. Able to turn this end around a little bit. And we're going to go back to what we had earlier with the hit and roll and behind the guards. Key is you don't want too much of a roll. This one has a lot of weight to it. Will it get a piece of it? And that one just get the smallest piece and just go right by. That one seemed to just hang out on the outside and just did not want to curl back in. And it's a great opportunity now for Nova Scotia to see if they can get their deuce with the hammer. Maybe a little bit too much weight on that takeout opportunity. This one is outside, waiting for it to curl up. And this one's coming in really quickly. Getting this one by the guard. Hard on the line there. Great job judging the line there to keep it in. And this one will go right on to the button. A great draw there for Nova Scotia, and they're going to sit 2. It looks like Manuel's reaction. It looked like it was outside. He was worried about that draw, and that one just seemed to, right before the hog line, just cut it right in. Newfoundland's trying to see here as they're talking. Is there a double opportunity? So they do have they have 2 options here. They're able to angle back the red one in the house, or they're going to try and run back the yellow one on the guard. Looks like they're going to go for the angle on the red. Newfoundland's trying to set up their shot here. The coach is trying to call for a timeout, not liking this call on the shot. Looks like the team is very focused. Can't see the coach, and they will go off for the shot. So hopefully it will pan out for them. Waiting to get on the inside. Get the corner. Can't get the 2. And it would just be a nose takeout. And Nova Scotia will just ignore it, and we'll send in another draw in. But that was the risk there on that angle. It looks over on sheet number 1 between the host Montague team against the PI and the women's side. There have been 2 blank ends so far over on sheet number 1. It's still 0-0. As the other 3 matches are still on their second end over here. You're on sheet number 3 between Nova Scotia and the Newfoundland men's teams. Nova Scotia team coming from the Mayflower Curling Club over in Halifax. Trying to see if they can curl this one around. This one, again, is diving once again. Can they hold the line? This one will get by. Some great sweeping and some hard wood. And they get one through, and that one will sit second shot. Some great, a little bit lighter on the way, but some great weight thrown in there. Great finish. And Nova Scotia signed themselves very nicely here. And this is going to put Newfoundland some issues right here, because if they don't get interrupt here, Nova Scotia could get 3 here in the second end. So taking again, look at the options. So that red stone that was just thrown by Manuel does interrupt that run back opportunity. It looks like they're probably just going to draw in here. Try and see if they can hold Nova Scotia to a single. McNeil Lambswood's going to have to throw a really strong draw away here. But the way it has been curling just before the hog line, though, it could curl in very nicely for him. So already an important shot here in the second end. Over on sheet number 2, Nova Scotia picked up 3 more, and they lead 6-0 over Newfoundland. Over on sheet number 2 on the women's side. This one needs to curl a little bit more. Do they think it's going to curl, or is it just going to hit off their Yellowstone in the house? That's what they got to decide right now. So it's just going to take a little bit of a roll. And it won't be able to set second shot. And Nova Scotia now has an opportunity to draw for 3 here and take the lead. But again, we've seen 2 or 3 shots already coming over on that right side of the ice. Just hasn't curled at all. And maybe you have to look at maybe taking less ice coming down that side. Abraham holding the broom manual with his final draw here. And number 2 gave up the steal of 1 in the first end. Trying to see if he could get 3 here. Just needs to get a piece of the 8. Nice and easy sweep here. Could this one be light? This one looks good, though. Well, the line, though. Is it enough? It looks like it. It looks like 3 from our advantage point. I'm going to take a look at it, though. But again, the angles from our screen is a little bit differently from what you see on the ice. And it's going to be the Yellowstone, so it's just going to be 2 for Nova Scotia. Couldn't hold the line there. And Nova Scotia will take the lead 2-1 here at the Atlantic Under-18 Curling Championships here at the Montague Curling Club. Here tuning in on Belline Community 1. Thank you all for joining us. As Nova Scotia coming in from the Mayflower Curling Club over in Halifax. We'll like to see if they can continue this momentum. They were talking to me before the game how they actually had that opportunity to go over to the World Men's Curling Championships and watch Team Simmons play. Got to watch a couple draws. Learn a lot before this championship here. Cameron here trying to get up that central guard to start off this third end here. Teams do play 8 ends. Have the half an hour each of thinking time. Both of them very good on the time right now. This one's got some weight to it. Will it fall into the rings? This one will just bite the rings there. So can't make full use of the free guard zone, but... And English will just set up that corner guard. He would, of course, like to give a shout-out over to his girlfriend, Olivia, who's watching back in Newfoundland. So might have some weight to it as well. Ice maybe just starting to change on the teams, and this one will go right into the rings. How far back will it go, though? This one might just go right in through the house. And he's actually just... Nova Scotia's just going to keep it alive, though. Make use of that Yellowstone. I have a control weight here. Going over to the Yellowstone. Some great sweeping over here from the Nova Scotia team, and they are able to keep that line. That's going to just hit the nose. A little bit of a roll. And that's going to roll outside. We're going to have an open house here, except for that one redstone just biting over on the top. So we're back to how we were 2 shots ago. English gets a second opportunity to set up his guard. This one's really having to be swept here. It's always a worry of a curler when you do go too heavy in your last shot. You want to throw in lighter, but this one might be a little bit too light here. And that one's not going to make it over the hog line. And it's always difficult for a curler when they can't seem to figure out the weight. They just don't want to be too heavy, so they throw it lighter, and just that one was a little too light. Abraham with his first. A little bit of clean right now. Just trying to get that one by. Gets past third one. Was looking for a little bit of a tick. Trying to see if they can get some separation between the redstones. I'll leave Newfoundland some problems right here. Seeing, are they able to remove both redstones is the question that they're asking right now. We'll go after the top redstone. Remove one, if they can, two. Comes Carter, normal way here. Hard on this one. This one's really breaking. And this one just might catch the outside. Well, might just peel away. Just goes up front. Gets a little piece of the red, but that one's just going to peel away the stone. And that one, as soon as he let that one go, that one was just curling right towards the center line. And Newfoundland couldn't hold it there. And I'll give an opportunity now for Abraham, just trying to see if he can guard that red stone in the rings. His team was also at the Under-21 Nationals as well for Nova Scotia this year. Got a very nice resume to their side. Got to make sure they don't overcurl here. Nice rock there by Abraham. Very nicely covered. And that's going to just force Newfoundland now just to peel away the guard. And it looks like Newfoundland does notice it this time. Scott Lambswood, the coach from Newfoundland, calls a timeout here. Want to talk to his team about the way the team has been playing. And they're going to chat quickly. They have a minute and 30 seconds to talk in their timeout. So right now, Nova Scotia sitting with the one high guard and the one redstone in the house. Newfoundland maybe saying instead of trying to removal of the redstone, maybe the conversations maybe just draw him behind. Well, little updates over on the other ices while we wait over on sheet number 1. Neither team can seem to find a point there, as we've had 3 straight blank ends over on sheet number 1 in the women's side between PEI and the host Montague Curling Club. Over on sheet number 2, it is still 6-0. They're playing over in the third end there as Nova Scotia leads over Newfoundland. And on sheet number 4, the Montague team does lead 5-0 over the PEI squad over in the men's action. Both teams do get 2 timeouts throughout this game. So Nova Scotia still has 2, and Newfoundland has used 1 so far. Let's see what the play is when they talked about it. Comes Jordan Carter. See if he can get to that back redstone. And that one just took off right out of his hand. Well, peel it away. But that's 2 shots in a row. It's just coming in from the left side to the right. It's really diving towards the outside. Right out of his hand. Couldn't hold it. Comes Nick Zekernook here. Maybe looking to see if they can get him behind the red, trying to add 2 in the house. It's going to over curl a little bit on the guard attempt, and half of it's going to stick out. Lying here has half the redstone sticking out. See if he can go after it this time. We've seen it dive really fast, so they're going to have to get on this one right out of his hand. Can they hold the line? This one will hit off the redstone. We've seen that 2 shots in a row now. Just really starts to dive on those takeout opportunities. And maybe you have to look at it taking a little bit more ice on those shots. Second opportunity here for the guard for Nova Scotia. Trying to get that. Nice curl and a little bit of a finish. Comes in a little bit heavy. Will freeze against their own rock. Will actually just come up just a tiny bit short right on top. And we have an opportunity here for Newfoundland. See if they do throw enough weight to remove both red ones. But again, same ice given on the last shot. We'll see if they don't over curl it again. Hard on this one out of his hand. Trying to hold in. They're fine this time. Hits 1. We'll just run back the redstone. And Nova Scotia still has 1 in the house, but they knew on this shot there they had to get on the sweeping right out of his hand because of how much it was curling. They did a good job holding it there. Reminder, the second draw is tonight at 7 p.m. here. Over on sheet number 3, we're going to be having New Brunswick going against the Montague Curling Club women's team. PI will be going against Nova Scotia over on the men's action on sheet number 1. And then Montague against New Brunswick on the men's side on sheet number 2. And on sheet number 4, we'll have PI versus Nova Scotia on the women's side. Very back and forth game here. As over on sheet number 4 in the men's action, Montague was able to pick up 1 more single. And they will lead 6-0 over PEI over in the men's action on sheet number 4. he get this one by? Does it have enough weight? Gets that one by. Can they get that one buried? And we'll come up a little short. Didn't have enough on the weight there. Good line, though. It'll be about half of the stone sticking out. And it's going to be McNeil Lambs with the skip. He's going to go after those red ones. This first of 2 stones here, and end number 3. On this one right out of his hand. This one's starting to dive towards it. Can they hold it? Can they hold it? And she's going to hit against their yellow guard, peel it away. One will stay in the house. The second one will roll out. But the one that stays in will stay for third shot, though. And Nova Scotia's in a prime position to force Newfoundland to a single here in 3. So that's the discussion right here. What do they want to leave McNeil Lambswood with on his final shot? Will they try to bump back the red ones a little bit? Will they just guard it? I agree. They looked over in the Yellowstone, looking if they should just remove it. Smart choice, considering it's just the third shot, leaving it there. Looks like I have enough ice here, maybe for a draw. This is a very important shot here, though, because if he does overcrow and leaves it open or exposed, it's very probable for Newfoundland to remove both those 2 redstones since they are right next to each other. Nova Scotia seeing how much it's been curling. Giving a lot of ice here. Hard on this one. Looks like it's just gonna be a bump back of the redstone. And just curl a little bit more. And you got 3 redstones lined up in a row. So now the decision is, are they just gonna try and draw in behind, or are they gonna go after and see how many of these red ones they can remove? But that one just curled right in for Nova Scotia. Just curled right before the hog line. They wanted to bump back the red one, and once it started to curl, they just couldn't hold it. This team did finish last year 2nd place here at the U18 Athletics for Nova Scotia, going against this Newfoundland team. That won the under-21 juniors this year, actually. So both teams have very strong resumes. Very tight game. Wouldn't be surprised if we see these 2 teams later in this tournament. Going to remove the red one and stick around. Able to hit 1. But I don't know if he hit it enough. And that's going to be a steal of at least 1, maybe 2 for Nova Scotia. And it looks like it's just a steal of 1. We'll get final confirmation. Yes, it is just a steal of 1 for Nova Scotia. And they will add to the lead now, leading 3-1 over Newfoundland here at the Under-18 Atlantics Curling Championships here at the Montague Curling Club. We have played 3 ends of the 8 ends so far. Nova Scotia has picked up the steal of 1, but Newfoundland has picked up 1. One simple deuce here for Newfoundland, and they're right back in this game. Very tight game between these two teams. Yeah, look to Cameron here. And they're going to ask for this one inside the rings. Trying to get this one. Sitting pretty nicely in the middle. Set up very nicely. Looks like it took a little piece of the ice there up before the hog line, trying to see if they did find a little bit of a pick there. And now Newfoundland will go over to the corner of the ice. Hard on this one right off his hand. Can they get this one over the hog line? Might just have enough, and they are able to get it over. Great sweep there from Lang and Carter. Able to get that one just over the hog line. English coming up light once again, though, on his draws. The lead's very important. They really set up your end. And he's got to figure out a way to find out this weight of the ice he needs for his guards. Nova Scotia sweeping this one. And this one might have been perfect. They got a little bit of a curl, but a nice draw in there from Cameron. But it will stick out a little bit, and will give an opportunity for Newfoundland to go after it. Looks like just a hit and stick here. Roll is preferred, but only if they can. Just get rid of that red stone. Comes Carter. Sorry, check that English. This one's outside right now. It's got to come back in. It's going to hit the outside of the rock. Able to remove the red one at least. And his will roll out the other side. But most importantly, does remove that red stone. Give a second opportunity now for Nova Scotia to figure out the draw weight. Over on sheet number 2. Looks like Nova Scotia did pick up 2 more. And they lead 8-0 over Newfoundland in the women's action. Over on sheet number 2. Go wait, now they're going on it. They want to curl more, but they got to go on it just for the weight. Almost ending up where the last one ended up before, but this one's a little bit more open. Just get that hit and stick here. Trying to hang around this time. It's me, Carter, here. With his setup here. This one's a bit outside again. Can this one come back in? It looks like it might get a piece. It just gets a piece. Does it have enough weight on it? And it had enough weight on it. Will knock it out. So the weight just enough by Carter there, able to remove the red stone. But again, 2 shots on the outside there. Got to get back in the inside. And Nova Scotia will look to dry in once again. Abraham with his second. This one's a little bit tighter here, so this one looks to be good. Only for weight right now. They should only be sweeping for the weight. Now looking for the finish. Looking for the finish there. It's starting to get that little finish there. And much better stone in there thrown by Abraham. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult for Newfoundland to get to. Looks like it might be sticking out just a little bit. They think they can get it right up to it, curl enough to get up to it. Gotta make sure they do get it by that top yellow guard that they did throw earlier. This one's looking good, hard on the line here. Gotta make sure you're past your tall yellow guard. They do get a piece of it though. Can't get a buy in Nova Scotia. Let's see if maybe are they gonna block off that center of the ice, or are they just gonna add another one? And they're gonna look to block off the middle and see if they can protect their red stone. But that one though, with that tall yellow guard, wasn't much ice given, trying to get right by and just couldn't hold it there. Good try though by Newfoundland, trying to see if they can hang around in this game. Still opportunity here for them to get their single. Over on sheet number 1, looks like the host team from the Mount Curling Club did pick up a single, and it's 1-0 as they play in the 5th end over on sheet number 1 in the women's action. This one a little bit deeper than what they would have liked. Wanted a bit of a higher guard. Does give an opportunity now for Newfoundland. They do throw enough weight. Gonna try and get on that inside of the top redstone. This one looks like it's just gonna hit the nose. This one just runs it right back. Able to move one, get a little bit of a roll, so we'll get into the house. But it will sit for a second shot. Nova Scotia going to try and set up that guard once again, trying to see if they cannot go as deep as they did last time. It's like Kernook looking to see if he can get a good guard in this time. A line is the most important thing here. Weight seems good. Come up higher, but it will cover up that area, so it looks like Newfoundland's going to have to look to remove some of these stones up on top. The middle is covered, so we'll start to see it peel away. And over on sheet number 4, Montague's is the host team are able to pick up 2 more, and they lead PEI 8-0 over on sheet number 4 in the men's action. As they are able to peel it away, the couple guards move the yellow one over to the side, so the middle is more open though, more accessible for the Newfoundland team as they look to try and set themselves up for skip stones. You're watching the Under-18 Atlantic Curling Championships here. It's been a very tight game so far if you've just been joining us. Very tight game. Both these teams have been making full use of their time so far. Trying to close up the port. They do a good job closing up the port in between the two stones. Two guards up top and again protecting that red stone. And again, trying to see if they can remove both red guards here. Open up the middle completely. Because they are able to get to that red stone house. They could sit two. So with Lang holding the broom, it's going to be a heavy weight here for the skip. McNeil Lanswood going to come in on an angle, trying to see if he can remove both red guards. This one's very tight here. Is there a plan B here? You can't sweep that one. And it will hang around on the side. But a nice little plan B there brought in by Newfoundland. And they do sit shot stone now. That's what happens here in curling. One shot does change an entire end here. And Nova Scotia might be seeing if they can try and get a draw in between the two high yellow guards and try and draw one into the house, getting behind all that mess out in front. But if they don't, it gives a great opportunity for Newfoundland to come around the other side and get two. So this draw very key for Nova Scotia going into the break. Final shot for Manuel. Both of them are under 15 minutes so far, so have made full use of the time so far in these first four ends. Might have to play a little bit quicker in the next four. And this one got to get through the port. This one's gets it by. Now, how far can they drag it? Great sweep coming in. And that will come in very nicely. Great draw coming in from Manuel. Great shot. And this is going to have to force McNeil Lanswood to throw a perfect draw here to see if they can get their single. But that was a very small port between the two high yellow guards for Nova Scotia to get through. Tight on the line, great judge on the line end sweep. Abraham on the broom, doing a great job holding that one and getting it placed very nicely. Newfoundland needs a piece of the button here to get their single, down by two. Yeah, both these teams, though, very tight game between them. Final shot here in end number 4. There will be a break after this end. This one looks to be a little bit light right now. How far they can take it. Trying to see if they can they get a piece of the button. Comes up a little bit short, but good try there. And it'll just be the steal one here for Nova Scotia, and they're going to go into the break, leading 4-1 over Newfoundland here at the Atlantic Under-18 Curling Championships here at the Montague Curling Club. Is being presented by Belline Community One, your local leader in sports webcasting in Atlantic Canada. We're going to have a little bit of quick few-minute break here. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes. And welcome back to the Under 18 Atlantic Curling Championships here at the Montague Curling Club. This is Martin Ohms here for the Bell Line Community One production here, your local leader in sports webcasting in Atlantic Canada, as we have the opening draw between Newfoundland and Nova Scotia in the men's action here. It's been a very close game, but it's just been some great draws coming in from Matthew Manuel, coming in for the team from Nova Scotia as they lead 4-1 here after the four ends. Both of them have used a full amount of time so far, though. Both of them have used more than half of it. Got to move very quick here in these final four ends to avoid running out of time. This one's going to go deep. Will it hang around, though? Could this have been... And Cameron's early draw is going to sit around in the back 8 foot. And English trying to see if he can get together with those corner draws. That leads very important position here. We'll see if he can turn it around here for his team. This team coming out from the Caribou Curling Club and the Corner Brook Curling Club over in Stephenville and Corner Brook, Newfoundland, combined together for this team. Trying to get over a nice little garden played by English. And that's the type of shot he needs to turn this game around for them. And Cameron, again, Nova Scotia just wants the Rucks in the house in play. Force Newfoundland to chase. Hard on this one right out of his hand. Could this be light? This one looks good for weight, though. But it looks like they think it's lighter, so they're going to try and see how take this. Want to get a little bit of the finish. Didn't curl as much as they wanted and did come up a little bit lighter on this shot. So it does leave it open, but it looks like we're going to have another end with a lot of rocks in play, and that's what we've had between these two teams. Very tight game. Both two teams do have quite a resume on both of them. A little quick fact, Matthew English, his favorite curler to watch is Russ Howard. Try and see if he can get some inner Howard inside himself for this draw. This one's a little bit on the outside, but they're going to see. This one looks like it will bump up in the red stone up top. How far will it bump? It's going to take it for the shot stone over in the top 8. Just didn't get enough curl on that shot, did English. A little bit outside there, just couldn't get it by that red guard. And again, now Nova Scotia is just going to add another rock in with Abraham. He's shot very well so far in these first four ends. Sweep out of his hand here. We've seen it break a lot as it gets towards the center line, so you just want to make sure they don't get there. You want to make sure they don't overcurl. This one a little bit heavier than they would have liked. And we'll get a little bit of a nice finish there, but it's a nice shot in there by Abraham. We'll plug up that middle once again, and that's what Nova Scotia's done a very good job of, just flooding up the middle of the ice, not giving any access for Newfoundland to get in through. Could this be? Looks like it's probably a draw attempt going the other way for Carter. Trying to get through that pour between the red and the yellow guards. Carter with his superstitious hand. Want to make sure he aligns himself very nicely. I always appreciate that. Got to get him, make sure it gets a by. Will it get a piece of the yellow guard, though? And it's going to get a piece of the yellow guard. It does spill it out a little bit. So the one side is open a little bit. But couldn't get it past there, and Nova Scotia sitting 2 right now, looking to see maybe if they're going to add a third, or are they just going to close up that, put another guard and close up that port. Comes Abraham with his second, see if he can get to that port there, and they're on this one out of his hand. Seems a little bit on the outside. They need it to curl a little more. Now it's starting to curl. Looks like they maybe are looking, trying to get that one through. And we'll come up a little bit light, trying to see if they can guard the port. And it does make it a little bit smaller to get through, but still accessible to get in through. And it looks like Carter might try, see if he can get through that hole again. Jordan Carter with another difficult shot on his hands. But if he does make it, it will definitely change the complexion of this end. This one seems a little bit light coming out of his hand. They're really going to have to sweep it because this one's really carrying quickly. And will he get through the hole? Hard sweep coming in through. Great job by the sweepers, trying to do what they can to hold the line. And that's going to hit off the second yellow guard. We'll spill over to the other side. And a little bit of a pirouette back in. Unfortunate little spin back in. And it does close up that hole a little bit more for them. But just couldn't get it by. And a little bit, maybe a little bit light on that shot. But a good try there from Carter. Zacharnik on his first attempt. Trying to close up that hole even more. It's going to curl very nicely. And that's going to set themselves in a beautiful position. Great guard there. And that closes up any sort of hole that Newfoundland could be seeing. And we might be seeing some big run backs, clear up some guards here. Gotta get rid of anything out front. How are they going to access the middle now? Looking over on sheet number 2 on the women's side, Nova Scotia has picked up a single and has increased their lead. Over on sheet number 2, they lead by a healthy amount over Newfoundland. And PI picked up, looks like a 3 spot over in 5. They now lead over Montague 3-1 over on the women's side. Looks like they're going to run back some rocks here. Where's everything going to end up? And it's just going to be a peel away of the one red stone. Does provide some opportunities for run back or bump back opportunity for Newfoundland later this end. And that looks like Nova Scotia is just going to want to close up that opportunity. And PI picked up a single over on sheet number 4 against Montague over in 5. Trying to see if they can claw their way back into that one. Just another guard being set up here for Nova Scotia, trying to see if they can prevent that run back. And another guard being set up nicely. Don't want to curl a little bit too much. And just that little finish on the end just got it. But it still blocks it off enough, so it's got to be a perfect stone being thrown here for Lang if he wants a bump back. So Zacharnik once again with another nice guard. plugging up that middle in Newfoundland again, trying to see what ways can they get in through now. Heavyweight here once again. Trying to see if they can run back some stones. That one just didn't curl. That just went straight. And it looks like he's just going to peel away the red one. Again, knock some rocks over on the side. And move some stuff around. But once again, nothing affected in the house. And Nova Scotia still sits 2. And it looks like they're just going to try and add another one. Try and block off the 2 Yellowstones that could be raised back. But a lot of weight thrown in by Lang. Did clear up the middle just a bit. I know Scotia will try and decide here which angle do they want to block up, because there is that double run on the Yellowstones on the left side, or there could be a little bit of a raise on the yellow guards over on the right side. They're trying to decide which one is least probable for Newfoundland. It looks like the raise, they feel like the raise is a more probable shot. Looks like they might be guarding that one. Or maybe just, they got that red guard in the middle, maybe catching an edge on that and moving it over on both sides. So that would be their plan A. Well, plan B, try and see if they can guard up one of those 2 options. Just trying to see if they could get a piece of their red stone in the middle, try and bump that over and block the single raise over on the right side and block off the double raise. That's our plan A. Try and see if they can block off both opportunities. Hard on this one out of his hand, though. They want to get that piece. So we'll come up. We'll block off that double raise very nicely. And that's going to maybe force a single race here for the skip, McNeil Lambswood from Newfoundland. Or is he going to try and clear up the middle even more? Let's see what McNeil Lambswood can do with this shot. If he's able to get one here, be fully earned by him. Can be a very difficult one. Can he get that raise? All right, on this one out of their hand. Can they hold the line? And this one just took off right out of his hand. Can they still get a piece of something? We'll hit the red guard. Can't seem to get the raise over. But it does open up a little bit of a port there for their raise opportunity if they want to try that on their last shot. So won't be surprised Emmanuel just tries to close up that hole there and stick to their 2 in the house. Winner will get $66 right now. Manuel with this final shot here in net number 5. His team is up by 3, sitting 2 right now. Trying to see if he can close this one out. Trying to close up that hole. Gotta hope for a little bit more of a curl. Maybe it's trying to see maybe they can get on an inside bump. That one won't close it up, so there is an opportunity here for the single. Hole hasn't been closed off. But we saw in the last one they couldn't hold the line. Can they hold the line this time? Although they... Interesting, trying to see what they're trying to do here. Not sure on the call. Looks like they'll be throwing some weight here, though, judging by the ice given. Intern race. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Getting on it now. Where's it going to end up? And couldn't get it on time. And we'll bump back over. And Nova Scotia is going to get 2. As we've seen it, though, it dives before, and they got on the curl a little bit too late. But Nova Scotia doing a great job plugging up the center of the ice once again and picking up another steal of 2 here. And after 5, it's going to be 6-1 for Nova Scotia over Newfoundland. Very tight game still, though. The scoreline doesn't exactly tell the full story. But it's just been one or two shots here and there that's just been changing the complexion of the ends and towards Nova Scotia's favor, and that's been the difference. But here, watching the Under-18 Atlantic Curling Championships here at the Montague Curling Club, as Nova Scotia skipped by Manuel, hold that lead. Both these teams, though, are got to run pretty quick. It's only the 6th end here, and Newfoundland only has 8 minutes of thinking time left. Got to be playing these next 2 ends fairly quickly, though. Cameron setting up that normal central stone. Nova Scotia wants it in the rings. Sets it up very nicely. We'll get a piece of the 8. And we're going to start seeing those corner guards being sent up for Newfoundland. Won't be surprised if Nova Scotia just tries to clear away any yellow stones in play after the free guard zone. It looks like we got handshakes over on sheet number 2 and 4. It looks like Nova Scotia has picked up the victory over Newfoundland on the women's action over on sheet number 2. And on the men's action, we have a final as well, as Montague, the host team, has picked up a victory over PEI over on sheet number 4. So you have 2 games still remaining. And Nova Scotia's on their second shot from Cameron. Just going to throw it right through. Don't want any more rocks in play. And we're going to see now the opposite corner guard being placed now by McNeil Lambswood. He's going to look for English. Very, very nice first guard thrown in. See if he can set up a very nice second one. Nice little corner guard here to see how far back they can take it, though. But English has turned it around in the second half in the game. Sent up 2 good guards. And now we're going to start to see those removal of the stones here for Manuel. For Abraham, trying to see if they can remove first the one on the right side. Got to make sure they get a peel away. They don't want the shooter to stay. Knock it away. Very nice peel. And Nova Scotia's Newfoundland's going to be forced again just to set up another one with Jordan. Jordan Carter, whose favorite curler is Carter Rycroft. Very great choice there, considering how well he's played in the last few years. Very good model for Carter to keep an eye out for the future. Both teams noticing they are running down on clock, trying to play this end as quickly as they can. Don't want to waste any more time. And Carter here trying to set the second corner guard. It's going to have to be swept, though. How far can they take it? Sweepers trying to get it as far as they can. Able to get it past the hog line. Good job by English and Lang, not giving up on that stone. That sets up Manuel to remove the stone now on the left side that English threw. Or it's consideration, or are they just going to go after the one that Carter just threw? And they are going to go after English's stone. Abraham, once again. Trying to remove the peel here. Able to get it. Very nicely done. And Newfoundland's going to have to replace it once again. And it looks like a single was picked up by the hometown Montague Curling Club over on the women's action. And they are now down 3-2 to PEI over on sheet number 1. That game is probably going to go down to the wire. They're in end number 7. Trying to set that corner guard once again. This one might trying to get it through. This one is coming up light once again. How far can they take it? Doesn't have enough. And that one just got over. Setting up guards is a little bit difficult for a player who normally plays second, more used to the takeout / draw. So setting up the guards, considering the way they've had to play throughout the game, is a little bit difficult. But he's done a good job setting up those guards for them. Another peel away, doing another great job. Perfect peels right now, not giving Newfoundland any opportunities. And now they got to decide, do they want to come in? And it looks like they're going to decide to come in now on this shot. Or it looks like they might do one more corner guard. It's a decision right now. Knock away the red one. Looks like they will call a timeout here. seconds. So Newfoundland not too sure how they want to play. Should they just tack now, set up the corner guard? So they're just going to have to wait and see. Here the coaches will come out. Coach Stu Cameron from Nova Scotia and Scott Lambswood using their second and final timeout. Yeah. The teams do have two 1 minute and 30-second timeouts. This is the second timeout for Newfoundland. Make sure you don't go anywhere at 7 p.m. tonight. Will be our second draw over on this sheet. The New Brunswick team will be playing their first game in this tournament, and they'll be going against the host Montague Curling Club here in the women's action. And over on sheet number 2, it'll be the same thing, but will be men's action. So make sure to tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Let's see what the decision is here for a Newfoundland team. Looks like they're going to go. Could they be curling around the yellow one or hitting the red stone? A little bit out. Super saying he's outside right now. Gotta wait for it to curl. And that one just did not curl. We've seen that so far in this game. Just did not seem to want to go. And Manuel will try and remove the last Yellowstone up top. Peel once again clears it away. And it'll be just a single redstone left in the rings. Good idea. Might be here for Newfoundland. Maybe just try and maybe freeze up to the redstone, but choosing to maybe play the corner guard instead. That'll be Lang here. This one's got a little bit of weight to it. They got to wait for that one to slow down. That's very nicely placed by Lang. Trying to see how far deep they can take it. Realizing it's going to go to the rings, they're just going to carry it and make it over onto the right side. Realizing it was too heavy to be a guard. And it's going to be two-line, just choosing to get in the rings. Abraham holding the broom here. Manuel the skip. Just going to remove the Yellowstone. Going to just try and peel away that Yellowstone. Hidden stick wouldn't be terrible for them either. Hard on the sweep here. So we'll get a little bit of a roll. It's going to roll over to the middle. And we'll hang around. So it gives an opportunity, though, for Newfoundland. Maybe if they get a nice, just a tiny bit of a roll, they can hide behind the red one. And that might be the opportunity that they do get. Maybe see if there's still a chance to get to 2 here, if they do set up nicely. main decision here, so want to make sure. We've noticed that there is very little curl coming down on this right side of the ice, so not giving him much ice here is Lang. Look for that hit and roll. This one's got us waiting for that curl on a nice little soft control weight here. Gotta wait for it to curl a little more still, though. Still waiting for that curl. Oh, just hit the nose. Just couldn't get it in, and Emmanuel probably his last one here. Just gonna peel away that Yellowstone, make sure they don't jam. Emmanuel's done a great job. I don't think he's missed one shot all game today. Look for the peel. Clear of the house open of any Yellowstones. They don't have hammer, but they do have a healthy lead here. 6-1 over Newfoundland. Trying to see if they can extend it. A lot of way here. Did he get a piece? He went right by, and we've seen that already on this side. Very unforgiving on the curl. Just went straight in through. A lot of weight being thrown here. And there's that opportunity for Newfoundland to get their deuce. The big shot there by McNeil Lamswood, able to get that first one, set themselves up, and force Manuel to make that mistake. Might have jinxed him a little bit, but here comes the draw for two. Neats, piece of the four. Waiting for it to curl a little more. Might have to get on it. A little bit of a clean. Got a little bit of a bump. How far of a bump? Not much fun. A great draw in there by McNeil Lamswood. They are able to pick up the deuce here in 6, and they are shortening the advantage for Nova Scotia. It's now 6-3 here over on sheet number 3 at the Under-18 Atlantic Curling Championships. Here at the Montague Curling Club. And don't forget that will be second draw at 7 p.m. today. English, looking at the time, noticing he doesn't have much, wants to play this end quickly. Matthew English coming from from Corner Brook, Newfoundland, with his first stone. Tries to set up that central guard. Tight guard there. Very nicely played by English. Over on sheet number 1. Another deuce picked up by Pia. They extend their lead over the Montague Curling Club over in the women's action. 5-2 over on sheet number 1. Trying to get in behind the yellow guard. Looks like it will get a piece. Open up a little bit, but the yellow one will stick around. Another high central guard going to be placed by English. Set up that high central guard. Hard on the sweep here. Did this come up light? I didn't expect that one to come up light. That one seemed to be good coming out of his hand, but that just seemed to die in the unfortunate play there for Newfoundland. That one did not look light, and sweepers didn't think so either, and it came up. Maybe it picked off something to make it stop, but not sure there. Cameron had a second stone in. Maybe try and curl him behind that red guard. So we'll plan B here and raise their redstone. A little bit of a bump and roll. Coming right behind. That one looks to be in the rings. And a very nice little roll there. Nova Scotia sitting 2 right now. Yeah, hard on this one right out of his hand. This one's really breaking quick, and that one, I'm going to have to wait to see if it go on the other side of the guard. And right out of Carter's hand, that one just took off. A little light, too. And now the decision is, should they try and go behind? But no, Abraham just says, let's peel away and get rid of those stones out in front. They got the hammer, so let's clear up the middle. Happy peel away. Abraham made both his peels last 10. There's 1. There's 2. Is there enough to get it out? And we'll roll right on top. Nice little bump out and a very nicely thrown stone there by Abraham. Able to open up the middle. Knocks over one of the yellow stones over to the side. And the middle is wide open once again. Carter looking for the takeout of the redstone in the middle. Hard on this one. Can they hold it? Able to hold it. They recognize the curl as quickly there. And just a hit and stick here, and they'll sit for shot stone. He says to hit and roll over. Peel is okay. Well, just looks like it just got with enough of the weight, just got enough of it, and we'll peel the Yellowstone away. So Nova Scotia still will sit 1 over on that far right side of your screen. And it will just be a draw over into the middle of the ice. Try to see if they can force Nova Scotia to maybe miss another takeout like last end. So it has some weight to it. Is it going to hang around? How far back are they going to take it? And it's just going to sit in the back 8. And we're going to look at the Chernock to again knock it away. Hard on this one here. Knock it away. Put it away, and that's exactly what they want. They want that middle wide open and a nice stone thrown in there. Lang once again, just going to draw into the middle. Oh, Newfoundland's just hoping for a miss here. This one came up a little bit short. We'll just sit for a guard, and we'll be appealed once again. That's all Nova Scotia's objective is right now. This team come from Halifax, Nova Scotia, coming out of the Mayflower Curling Club. Looking to peel away themselves to victory here. Rolls over the top of the 2 stones. And now looks like they're going to try and just go in behind those 2 stones over on the left side. Right side of your screen. Try and see if they can set up a draw over on the side. Heavy on the CPR, looking good right now. Coming up nicely over on this side. It's going to be another takeout here. Just couldn't get that one hidden, but a nicely thrown stone there by McNeil Limeswood. He's got a good feel of the weight. Maybe just a little bit more on the line. That would have been perfect. But he can do it again on his last stone. Emmanuel looking to see if he can remove it here. That yellow stone that was just thrown. We got handshakes over on sheet number 1. Looks like PEI did pick up the opening victory over the Montague Curling Club. In the women's action. So all eyes are on this sheet here. Trying to get a piece. Able to just get enough of the stone. Just gets the corner of the yellow stone and rolls it away. So we're going to have to see if McNeil Limeswood could again get that draw and get him more hidden this time. But if he throws like he did last time, just to fix the line, he can do it. You're watching the Under-14 Atlantic Curling Championships here at the Montague Curling Club, being broadcasted by Bellline Community 1, your local leader in sports webcasting in Atlantic Canada. Don't forget 7 p.m. On this sheet, we're going to be having Montague Curling Club going against New Brunswick in the women's action here at 7 p.m. Don't go anywhere. This one ending up almost a carbon copy of the last one. And Manuel's just going to have to remove it once again. And he'll pick up a single here. If he rolls out, if he just hits and stick, it will be a pickup of 2 for Nova Scotia. Final rock here in 7. Nice little clean here. Will it hang around, though? It's going to hit and roll, and it's going to roll out. It'll just be the single, but there are handshakes here as Nova Scotia skipped by Matthew Manuel have defeated Ryan McNeil Lambs with Newfoundland squad 7-3 here at the Montague Curling Club. That will put Nova Scotia to the 1-0. Newfoundland will go to 0-1, but both of them will look to rebound later, as Newfoundland will play tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and Nova Scotia's next game will be at that 7 p.m. draw, and they're going to be going against PEI. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been Martin Holmes here for Battleline Community 1. We'll see you guys at 7 p.m. here at the Montague Curling Club. Thank you very much. See you guys later.